So Nightfall is one of our 2 deck builders. I don't know whether you're familiar with Nightfall.
Familiar with it, although I haven't tried it yet.
So Nightfall is set in a world of eternal night. The lights went off, and all of the bad creatures out there, the werewolves, the ghouls, the vampires, decided that meant it was party time. So basically, there are a series of groups in the setting who are all pretty much just fighting for survival. As far as deck builders go, it's quite different because it's very combative. It's about attacking people. It's not about simply building a deck and getting your deck to do your thing. It's about definitely trying to physically attack and defeat the other warlords around the table. So, and you can try recruiting vampires, all sorts of minions, vampires, hunters. You can have a mix of them. You can if you feel like trying to play a game where you just go for vampires, you can do that. But it's definitely an aggressive game. Well, I mean, you are playing a sort of warlord who's trying to pull together and hold all these minions of darkness and make them fight for you, so you can achieve supremacy. So it's definitely a game where there's where aggression pays.
Not for the timid.
But in a multiplayer setting, and I mean you can play with 5 players, 6 players even, and in a multiplayer setting, like any good warlord, you have to be able to do a bit of politics, right? If you're playing with somebody head to head, and I think it's a really good head to head game, but if you're playing with somebody head to head, it's all about not making a mistake. If you're playing in a group, it's all about suggesting to them that a degree of strategic political alliances might not be too bad a thing, both for them and you know?
So little tit for tat, perhaps.
Tit for tat, yeah. And this is our second expansion, 3rd release for Nightfall. So it's doing really well for us. We're really pleased with it.
And also, same question here at the fair, but when is it going to make it over to the US?
This is, well, the plan, unsurprisingly enough, is to have this available for Halloween.
Ah!
Well, game about vampires, werewolves, and so on. It's got to be Halloween. But yeah, so that should be out worldwide, I think, it may be the 31st of October. I can't be sure, but it's certainly around the end of this month.
So very soon, though.
Yeah. But we love it. It's doing great for us. It's got a really nice mechanic where all the cards chain off each other. So it's very much about understanding what other people are doing and then trying to build your deck so that you can key off the people in front and get your minions into play. So
now, probably most people watching are familiar with Nightfall. Is there something that makes this expansion a bit more notable or different or unique than the base and the first expansion?
Yeah, I think we've got some interesting actions that behave in different ways in here. We've got some interesting new takes on the way some of the minions work. We've got different colour combinations that we haven't used before, so it creates different chain mechanisms. So there's several things that are different and basically add to the variety of chaining options. The big mechanic in the game really is the way the cards chain off each other. They have a primary colour. I'm trying to make sure I get the right camera. They have a primary colour and secondary colours, and you chain on. So this card can be chained onto by a blue or a red card. So
right.
This card could chain off it, and then you have to follow this card with a red or green. So we've gone with different colour combinations. We've gone with different ways of sort of booby trapping some of the archives that people can draft from. One or two little changes like that I think just give the game another layer of depth. And we've got more planned, right? I mean, we've got a few things planned that are going to change that up again with the expansion after. So
3rd expansion in the works then?
Yep. Yeah, we're very pleased with how it's doing. And
any details you can share on that?
I can't share a whole lot about that. Yeah, I'm sorry. But suffice to say, I mean, I think one of the things we've been doing is we've been looking at the things that players have been talking about, for example, on BoardGameGeek and on our own forums about the kind of things they like about the game and the kind of things they'd like to see. So we've certainly sort of listened to that and thought, okay, well, we could do something cool here. there might be things that could sort of affect the game more globally, or that could impact on it. So yeah, we've been listening. We've been listening and looking and watching.
I always like to hear that.
Yeah.